Now, in this video, guys, we shall be discussing Sheduer Sanders, the Cleveland Browns at this current moment right now, fourth-string quarterback, and what we're going to be basically talking about, what are the expectations really for me when it comes to what Sheduer's going to be doing this season. I don't really expect much from Sheduer this season. I mean, he had a very good first game in preseason where he went over 200 yards, had 2 passing touchdowns, and then I seen a clip of him going to a reporter from that reports for the Cleveland Browns team, and he was basically saying, "You guys need to stop commenting so much negative press on me." When I'm gonna say this right now, I'm not trying to be mean or anything like this. This is just preseason right now. I mean, having a good preseason doesn't really tell you much, because you can have a team go 4-0 or 3-0 in terms of the preseason and then absolutely blow it during the regular season, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, they had a very good preseason. I wonder what happened." It was preseason for a reason. These are basically just players that they're just seeing how they're gonna look and which players are gonna make the roster. And when it comes to Sheduer Sanders, he has to deal with 3 other quarterbacks, because he has to deal with Kenny Pickett, he has to deal with Joe Flacco, and he has to deal with the guy that they took before him in Dylan Gabriel, which means right now, at this current standpoint right now, Sheduer Sanders, at best, is going to be a 4th-string quarterback. Now, I've seen rumors this weekend that he picked up a oblique injury, which means he won't be playing this week in preseason number 2, which is going to be sad to see, because I want to see how he really does. But even if Sheduer Sanders went into the season right now, considering the fact that Joe Flacco is the actual named starter right now, and the backup, I believe, is going to be Kenny Pickett and then Dylan Gabriel, this just doesn't give Sheduer that many opportunities to be a starter. But if, knock on wood, hopefully nothing happens, if Joe Flacco goes down, Kenny Pickett's bad, and then Dylan Gabriel's bad, and you put Sheduer Sanders, do I really expect Sheduer Sanders to do well? Well, I just don't really know, to be honest, right now, because I just feel like we're going to have to wait to see him in an actual NFL game to see anything when it comes to that. Do I see him as a potential starter? Of course, yeah. There's a couple teams right now, if their quarterback situations don't work out, we could possibly see some teams take a chance on Sheduer Sanders just because of his name and give him a chance to start at the quarterback position. But when it comes to the Cleveland Browns, if he were to come back, if he were to play this game and had another good game, then my mind would have changed. But at this current standpoint right now, he had a good game, over 200 passing yards. I mean, Cam Ward and Calvin Ridley looked very good when it came to the preseason, but Cam Ward's going to be a starter. I can't really compare Cam Ward to Sheduer Sanders, because Cam Ward's going to be a starter, and Calvin Ridley basically is going to be his number 1 option when it comes to this. So in terms of what I think when it comes to Sheduer Sanders and the whole Cleveland Browns situation, there's a possibility that he may start possibly 1 game, depending on the quarterback situation right now, because, like I said, he's the 4th-string quarterback. He's behind Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is no doubt going to be a starter, and Joe Flacco has a ton of more experience that he can teach names like Dylan Gabriel and Sheduer Sanders. All they have to do is be willing to listen and be willing to take the advice of a Joe Flacco, because let's not forget, Joe Flacco, at the end of the day, has a Super Bowl ring. He won one with Baltimore. So that's going to be a very big name for when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. And even though the Browns are probably going to be the worst team in the AFC North, there's still a lot of opportunities for Sheduer Sanders to possibly shine. And if it comes down to it, like I said, Dylan Gabriel right now, I believe, is dealing with injury. Kenny Pickett's dealing with injury. So if both of those quarterbacks continue to deal with injuries, there's a possibility that Sheduer Sanders could be the backup heading into week 1. And if Joe Flacco goes down with the injury, then Sheduer Sanders could be a starting quarterback. So do I see Sheduer Sanders being a possible starter for the Cleveland Browns? If everything goes wrong for the Cleveland Browns, yes. If everything goes okay for the Cleveland Browns, there's still a possibility of yes. But at this current standpoint, after having a 200-yard passing game in preseason game number 1, Sheduer Sanders looks like he has a ton of potential, but we're just going to really have to see until he actually performs in the NFL game to see if really he can really make it in this NFL career.